All right, y'all, welcome to the show. I have a really fun one lined up for you today. So in just a second, we're going to talk about Trump at one of his rallies throwing what he calls the severe right under the bus. And I have a lot to say about that, especially because he's lying. He's pretending like he's distancing himself from the far right or the severe right, but he's not. More on that in a little bit. So we'll talk about that. We have the very first Kamala versus Trump ads are now dropping. We have one pro-Kamala one that came out and actually came out before it became clear that she was likely going to be the nominee and Biden dropped out. And we also have a Trump one going after Kamala. So that's fun all around. And then later on, we'll get to the reaction to Trump's convention speech. It may surprise you what voters are thinking about Trump's convention speech. And Bill Maher torches MAGA's reaction to the Trump shooting. That's actually a really interesting segment. And it may be the first time in a long time that I actually agree with something Bill Maher says, because he's been on a streak of wrongness that's been going on for at least like 6 months now. All right, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. And of course, if you guys wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. That helps out massively. It costs you absolutely nothing. It helps us in the algorithm. It really pumps the videos out there. And thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. Remember, I don't talk to any advertisers, so you guys help fund this show from the ground up. Some of you give $2 a month or $5 a month. That makes a world of difference. And if you're not, a patron to the show, please consider being that. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Trump has been largely skating on a lot of insane things he says because there's just been so much focus and emphasis on what's happening in the Democratic Party, right? I mean, there was the assassination attempt on Trump, and that really reduced the criticism he gets in mainstream media. And then you had Biden step aside and the Democratic Party kind of coalescing, at least I should say the elites in the Democratic Party kind of coalescing around Kamala. So all the focus is on that. And Trump's still, doing rallies, which, by the way, kind of ballsy since he almost got murked at a rally. I mean, like, seriously, that's like, yeah, I'm going to go do a rally next week. That's crazy. So anyway, he's out there. I got to play some clips for you because these are all interesting for a number of different reasons. So let's start with this one. This is him attempting to distance himself from what he calls the severe right. All right, let's listen to it.
Like some on the right, severe right, came up with this Project 25, and I don't even know. I mean, some of them I know who they are, but they're very, very conservative, just like you have, they're sort of the opposite of the radical left, okay? You have the radical left and you have the radical right, and they come up with this, I don't know what the hell it is, it's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme, but I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
Okay, so a couple things there. He says, like, yeah, severe right, far right, they're the opposite of the radical left. They're very extreme. They're very extreme. I don't like this Project 2025. And then he goes on to say, I don't know anything about it. Wait. If you don't know anything about it, how can you comment on it and be so against it, right? Now, by the way, a lot of absolute blithering idiot morons on the right are like crying and they're mad at Trump. I don't know why Trump is saying this. What he doesn't understand. This is his agenda. This is what we've worked for. How could he say such a thing? You fucking clowns. The only reason he's saying it is because he wants to get elected. He has better political instincts than you dumbasses, right? So why is he doing this? It's very simple. On gay rights issues and on abortion, Project 2025 sucks. It's extreme. He knows that. And so the reason he's trying to distance himself from it is so that he could say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine with gay marriage. I'm fine with leaving abortion up to the states. I don't want a national abortion ban. I'm a moderate. Like, this is what he's trying to do. It's good political instincts from Trump. It really is. But here's the problem. He's totally full of shit. Not only does he know what Project 2025 is, many of the people who are in his administration and his closest advisors helped write Project 2025. It's an amalgamation of all of the right-wing think tanks that govern under Republican presidents. They got together and came up with this 900-page document, which is their wish list of their policy priorities. He knows that. In fact, look, this is not that long ago. This is from 2022. Look at this. Watch this.
Because our country is going to hell. The critical job of institutions such as Heritage is to lay the groundwork, and Heritage does such an incredible job at that. And I'm telling you, with Kevin and the staff, and I met so many of them now, I took pictures with among the most handsome, beautiful people I've ever seen. I didn't like that picture. If you could lose that picture, please, would you, Kevin? But this is a great, no, he says I won't do that. But this is a great group, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
So that's what he actually thinks about Project 2025. He was speaking in front of Heritage. He says Heritage is super important and they're going to lay the groundwork for what my administration is going to do. That groundwork is Project 2025. That's what it is. So the idea, and also, like, he governed in the first term by doing a lot of the things that they want to do in Project 2025, that they want to just make more extreme, right? So Project 2025 involves massive deregulation of corporations. It involves massive corporate tax cuts and rich tax cuts, wealthy tax cuts. That's in Project 2025. Trump delivered on that once with his tax cuts. 83% of the benefits of that went to the top 1% over the long run. He says, I want to cut taxes again for you guys. So it's basically a mix of outright economic corporatism or extreme laissez-faire economics. It's that mixed with effectively Christian nationalism, where in Project 2025, they talk about outlawing pornography, right? That's on their wish list. Total abortion ban. That's on their wish list. I think even the stuff they've been talking about now with end no-fault divorce, ban IVF, stuff like that is in there. Farron Cousins just did a segment where he was talking about, he went through the tax part of Project 2025. And one of the things they want to do is they want to change our progressive tax system to just two brackets, 15% and 30%. So effectively what that would mean is the wealthy get a massive tax cut and everybody who makes, I think the number is $168,000 a year or less, all of them get their taxes raised. So if you make $20,000, $30,000, $60,000 a year, your taxes are going to get raised and they're going to get raised big time. So it raises taxes on working class people while cutting taxes for the rich. Again, these are all things. These are classic right-wing Republican proposals. They just put it all together in a single wish list. And Trump knows specifically on the issues of gay rights and abortion, that's why he's trying to distance himself from it. Because Trump came out with his own, I think he called it Agenda 47, which is, if he wins, he'd be the 47th president of the U.S. It's his agenda. And if you go through it, it's basically Project 2025 stuff minus the anti-gay rights shit and minus the abortion stuff. And remember, he's the reason Roe v. Wade got overturned. So the idea that it's like he is actually a moderate on abortion, he's not. He just prefers to allow all the conservative states to be draconian and primitive and ban all abortion while saying the liberal states are allowed to do what they want, right? That was the old school Republican position. Now, a lot of national Republicans, the evangelical Christian fundamentalists, they're like, no, we want a national abortion ban. They want to go that step further. But Trump knows that's electoral poison. He knows that. Okay, so there you go. I got more for you, though. Now Trump is going to randomly, in his rally, go on a massive pro-Elon Musk rant. That's interesting. Let's watch, and I'll tell you why he's doing it.
And Elon, I love Elon Musk. Do we love him? I love him. And I'm constantly talking about electric cars, but I don't mean I'm against, I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says, and if it's 10% of the market, 12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay. But you can't have 100% electric cars. And so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call him, he's talking about, I got a new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this? No, it's true. The first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket motor engine, come down landing, straight up in, no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. I thought I was seeing things. What is that? And it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then another one comes down, and another one, I guess 4 of them came down, 3 or 4, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that? I've never seen that before. Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to 100 years. But it was Elon.
Yeah, because, NASA, those chumps, they never did anything, right?
Now, think of that. And I called him, and I've always had a good relationship with him, but I called him, and I said, what was that? He said, well, we saved the engines. We saved the engines because it's very expensive to build. So, it didn't take me long to figure that if you save them, that's good. But who the hell thought you could do that? No wings, no nothing, just like these big, long, massive tubes, and they're landing gently right on the dot. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And you say, how long would it take government to come up with that one? I don't think they ever heard of it. Perhaps they still haven't heard of it. But, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are others. We have to make life good for our smart people, We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And he's as smart as you get. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. A month. Not 45 million. Gives me 45 million a month. And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here, how you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them.
That's an incredible clip, what we just saw right there. I want you to imagine for me for just a second, Joe Biden, prior to dropping out, he's doing a rally speech. The other day, Jack, the fact of the matter is, George Soros came up to me and I said, George, you're a brilliant guy, George. And George gave me $45 million a month. And I said, wow, we got to make life good for George Soros. That's what we got to do. Brilliant guy. If he openly talked about that in the rally, the right would be absolutely melting down right now. They would be screaming from the rooftops, this is bribery, this is corruption, this is out in the open, this is disgusting, this shouldn't be legal, George Soros should be locked up, and also Joe Biden should be locked up because he's not representing the American people, he's not representing the small dollar donors, he's representing his wealthy donor, his billionaire donor, George Soros. Who do you think is really controlling policy in a situation where George Soros gives $45 million a month to Joe Biden and the Democrats? Who's really in charge? Who's the boss? But Donald Trump gets to go out there and do it. And guys, I shit you not. I'm not kidding. I saw the so-called anti-establishment right-wing accounts. They were like tweeting this clip and like celebrating and saying, isn't this awesome? I love Elon and I love Trump. And look, they're giving each other a hand job on TV. I love this. You idiots have no idea. You are now bragging about how corrupt your preferred candidate is. He literally said, we have to make life good for the Elon types. We got to make life good for Elon. He gave me $45 million a month. He's admitting I prioritize the donors. He's admitting now this guy's got a bigger say in the room because he gave me all this money. Why should we have a system where the billionaires and the robber barons and the oligarchs and the economic royalists, they get to determine everything because they buy the politicians? That's not a democracy. That's not a republic. Who are we kidding? What a fucking disgusting kleptocracy, oligarchy, plutocracy, bullshit-ass system that we're dealing with here. He's bragging about the corruption him and Elon Musk engaged in. He's bragging about it. Now, by the way, so Elon comes out and he goes, that's not even 45. That's not even true, bro. What actually happened is I set up my own PAC for candidates who love the free market. And I also endorsed Trump recently. So he's trying to say, no, that's not true for whatever reason. But even in his deflection, he admits, yeah, I have a PAC. Yeah, I'm spending big money in politics. And I just endorsed Trump the other day. So of course you're giving Trump money. Right? Maybe the dollar figure is slightly off or whatever. But it was reported 45 million. Trump seems to think it's 45 million to his super PAC. And he's very happy about that. And he's talking about it. So again, I cannot tell you the seething hatred I have for all of the so-called anti-establishment right-wing people who suck off Elon all day and they suck off Trump all day and they see this clip and they think this is awesome and they're sharing it and they're high-fiving and they're like, this is great. I have never, ever in my life seen an anti-establishment left-winger high-fiving other anti-establishment left-wingers because George Soros gave some Democrat a bunch of money, right? We are against the corruption as a matter of principle. People on the right are not. If they like the billionaire robber baron and they like the asshole politician, who cares if they're corrupt? We're going to pretend they're not. We're going to pretend Trump is posturing against the deep state, bro. He's against the establishment, even though he fucking is the establishment. So anyway, that pissed me the fuck off, man. What a sick, sick joke. What a sick, sick joke this was. So Trump said in this same rally, Trump goes out there and talks about how brilliant Xi Jinping is. And he talks about, oh, he's brilliant, he's smart, he's amazing. And then he says, you know, this guy, he rules 1.4 billion people in China with an iron fist. And he brings it up like this is obviously a good thing. Like an iron fist is a good thing. And when I look at that, I'm like, I don't understand how everybody who looks at this doesn't come to the same conclusion. The conclusion being, this guy absolutely loves authoritarianism. He prefers authoritarianism, as long as he's the authoritarian, of course. But he thinks, oh, it's brilliant. Xi Jinping, iron fist, brilliant. Keeps everybody under his thumb, controls everybody. What an amazing way to view the world. What an incredible admission. I mean, it could not be more clear. It is naked right in front of us that he likes authoritarianism. He likes totalitarian control. He wants to be a dictator. He tried to overthrow the last election. That's all the evidence you fucking need on that front. And he openly says, like, yeah, an iron fist. Again, imagine Joe Biden goes to give a rally speech and says, you know, Jack, that guy, Xi Jinping, brilliant guy, smart guy. I love how he rules over 1 billion people with an iron fist. Everybody would be like, are you fucking... The right would clip that and run with it from now until the end of time. And they'd be like, here's Joe Biden admitting he doesn't believe in democracy. He believes in authoritarianism. He's jealous of Xi Jinping for having an iron fist. So anyway, he's been skating on so many of these fucking things, man. He's been skating on so many of these comments. Because again, all the focus right now is on the Democrats. But you can't let him skate on this stuff. Because all of it matters. And he's letting you know what's really going on here. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.